right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. It's the brother Aina from GMS Dallas.
God, this is brother Malak, GMS Detroit.
And we're just in the spirit, man. Got an in transit lesson queued up, so Lord willing, is edifying, man. And pretty much this lesson is going to be going into the spiritual aspects of being a child, in the sense of coming into the truth. You know, from the Christian standpoint, they talk about being born again and these things, but they don't necessarily understand it. And a lot of us coming out of the Christian church, you know, we hear about these specific terms and they may confuse us. So we're just kind of here to clear the air, you know, through the spirit. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and start in that 2 Timothy Bible shop.
God, this is 2 Timothy 3:14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them.
Yeah, it says continue in those things. So we're supposed to be persistent in the doctrine that we were taught when it comes to the men of the Lord, the men that we believe are the prophets, the true prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We're supposed to continue in that doctrine and in that understanding, man, because Yahushai prayed for those men. He prayed for those men to receive the understanding and to receive the words that you know we're out speaking on the highways and byways. Read it again, Bible shop.
Yep, 2 Timothy 3:14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou...
It says has been assured of.
Yeah.
Now, how are you assured? Get that word in the Greek Bible shop, because ultimately it's about being fully persuaded. Let me know what you got. Yeah, it's about being fully persuaded, man. You know, because what does the scripture say in Hebrews, the 11th chapter?
Got you. You said assured, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What does it say? What does it say in Hebrews 11th chapter, man? It says the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Go ahead,
G4104 pisto, to make faithful, render trustworthy, to make firm, establish, to be firmly persuaded of, to be assured of.
You see that? So we're firmly persuaded. We are sure that this is the truth. Go back to the verse.
Yep. 2 Timothy 3:14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are...
Knowing of whom thou hast learned them. We haven't learned the scriptures just from some random, well, to the world is random, but we understand that it's spiritual, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we've learned from well-studious men.
Yeah, and the thing is, we went back like the Bereans in Acts the 17th chapter. Yeah, and searched out the things that were said to see if it's true. And that's what the apostles, starting with the apostle Har, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on down, that's what they have been telling us, to go back and look it up, what we're saying.
They've always encouraged that.
Yeah, you know, that's what we're supposed to do, so that we can be able to teach others also. That's in the scriptures as well. Okay, now we can go to verse 15.
And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith.
Now, how old is a child? A child is somebody that has yet to reach their adolescence. They're somebody that's yet to reach full maturation,
before the age of accountability.
Yeah. So it says, but it says that from a child thou hast what?
Thou hast known the holy scriptures.
Yeah. So have we known the scriptures since we were children? No, not physically, but when we come into the truth, again, we are born, we are reborn, and we cut off the old man, and our spirit is basically renewed, like the scriptures say, day by day. But we are born again, man. That's the concept of being baptized. Okay, having a new spirit basically on us, to where our old ways and deeds and actions are pretty much we don't do them anymore. You know, we don't go and participate and fraternize with the same individuals a lot of the times that we did before we came into the truth. Okay, because their mind isn't set on the kingdom, man.
You have to become spiritually malleable.
Which is an attribute of a child.
Yeah.
You see?
I got something for you.
Kind.
John 3, real quick, with the Lord, when the situation dealing with Nicodemus. John 3 and I'll start right at it. 3. It says, Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Yahweh. Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? All right, and backing up the brother, the rebirth is that which is spiritual, because Nicodemus, he being an elder amongst Israel, and Yahushua even, I'll say he scolded him a couple verses down. He was supposed to know this. All right, Yahushua wasn't talking about a grown adult male climbing back into his womb, into his mother's womb. This is dealing with you spiritually. All right, which is why also, you read Paul, right? He says, "What? I didn't come to baptize, but to preach Hamashiach." All right, basically, because that go hands in hand. You got people who think, "Oh, if you don't get baptized, you're not making it." The baptism is spiritual.
Yeah, well, the importance of the physical baptism was to represent the spiritual baptism that you're supposed. That's actually the thing that's going to benefit you.
Because that's what makes you change. You can get done. You can dunk a nigga like a chicken nugget 20 times a day, and he'll still be that old man.
No, but the thing is, look, baptism. People don't understand what is actually the definition of baptism. Mm-hmm. When I say people, I mean people in the world. They don't understand what baptism actually is. Like the actual Greek word. What is it?
Baptizo.
Baptizo, right? What does it mean? It means to submerge continually. Mm-hmm. When you get baptized physically, you don't stay underwater forever. It's spiritual, man. Okay? Again, this is like physical circumcision. It doesn't do anything for you unless you are circumcised in the mind. Mm-hmm. And you're cutting off the flesh. Okay, so let's go from there. You finished verse 15,
Yeah,
right?
I got you. Yeah.
Okay. Finish verse 15. And then we'll go from there to 1 Peter.
I'll read it again. 2 Timothy 3 and 15. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua.
That's right, man. Yeah. That faith is the key to salvation. And the thing is, with little children, they are very impressionable, man. Mm-hmm. And they pretty much have no choice but to be vulnerable. They're unexperienced. They're physically weak. They don't have the understanding that the adults do. Okay, and basically, Yahushua, he is our mediator to the Father, man. Because without the Father, without the Spirit of the Lord, how would we know how to maneuver in this world? We wouldn't. You see? What?
Yep. 1 Peter 2 and 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word.
Right. Now, is this a letter to newborn babies?
Yeah.
That Peter was writing here? No.
It's metaphorical.
He said to the elect scattered throughout the various parts of the old world. Okay? That's who that letter was written to when you read 1 Peter 1 and 1 and verse 2. And so that's what it's about, man. Being spiritually coming into your own. Okay? Coming into your own being born, because that's what happens when your mother gives birth to you. When your mother gives birth to you, you become your own individual. You separate from your mother's womb and you become your own. You are in your own body. You see, before that you were in your mother's body getting nourished, but when you become born, that's when of course you need nutrients, you need nutrition, you need to get built up. Okay, but you put aside all of those things of the old man. Okay, when you become born again spiritually. Okay, just like being physically born, you're a new person.
I'm gonna read again.
Go ahead.
Yeah, 1 Peter 2 and 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Mm-hmm. You see that you may grow, because a baby not gonna just stay a baby forever. Eventually, you're gonna mature. You're gonna learn how to, sleep through the night and look around and move your head and sit up by yourself and crawl and start walking and talking. You see? And then you start doing other things, man.
I got something for you.
Okay.
Because this sincere milk, this is parabolic speech for the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of this truth. The same way that a baby needs actual milk to grow, we need this truth to learn how to walk in this world.
Yep.
Second Esdras 8. Slakia, what did Esdras say? He was going to do Second Esdras 8 and 51. He said, but understand. Slakia 8 and 4. So answered I and said, swallow then down, O my soul, understanding and devour wisdom. For thou hast agreed to give ear and art willing to prophesy. For thou hast no longer space than only to live.
You see that? So
Yeah.
that shows you the comparison, man, of reading and getting that understanding to actually eating.
Yeah.
You know, like the scriptures say, man, eat the whole roll.
Eat the whole roll, yeah.
Like you said, brother, like the scripture said, like you just read, swallow down, oh my soul,
So
understanding.
devour wisdom.
You see that? So that shows you, man, that this is likened unto our spiritual food.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Everything's spiritual, man. It's beyond what you see in the flesh. Let's go from there
Matthew.
to that, Baba Kushah, to that Matthew
14.
19. Yeah, Baba Kushah.
Matthew 19. Take a look up.
And you can actually start at verse 13.
Yep. Matthew 19 and 13. Then were there brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked him.
So let's paint the picture real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So Yahushua, you know, at this point he was known for healing people, healing the sick, you know, performing miracles. And so what did it say? It said people brought little children unto him. Read it again, Baba Kushah.
Then were there brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples
You see
rebuked
that?
him.
So that he should put his hands on them and pray, because that's what you're supposed to do to your, to your children, man.
Yeah.
You're supposed to pray over them, man.
Yeah.
You know, the scriptures talk about through the laying on of the hands of the presbytery, man. You know, meaning the elders of the church. You see? You gonna say something, bro?
No, it's straight, bro. You got it.
Yeah. So that's what Yahushua was about. Okay, because ultimately we're the Lord's children. You see? So read that second part of that verse. What did Jake do?
It said that he should put his hands on them and pray, and the disciples rebuked them. Verse 14.
Yeah. So the disciples was like, man, nah, watch out, man.
Who these kids?
Well, they were cussing out the parents.
Exactly.
They were like, y'all, no, hold on, nah.
Get
like,
your kids.
Get these kids. Like, you know, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Because they were very protective of Yahushua. You know, because they knew he was a high level, you know, man in the spirit. They knew that he was the Messiah. They believed. You know, those were like the first believers. You know, and followers, I'll say, because you had other men that believed that may not necessarily walked with Yahushua, but those were Yahushua's, you know, right hand men. Okay, and so they were very protective, man. They were basically like his bodyguards, man. You know, in a sense. Whenever the disciples were around, Yahushua, you know, he didn't really have to do much or say much. You know what I mean? The disciples were learning from him and everything he said. But even when in the Garden of Gethsemane, like, you know, they drew their sword out against those centurions, man. You know, to protect Yahushua. So they were very protective of Yahushua, right? But go ahead and see what Yahushua said.
Matthew 19 and 14. But Yahushua said, suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah. So Yahushua said, look, allow them to come and receive those blessings, because through your children, and this is another thing that proves reincarnation, but through your children, you're gonna through those children, I'll say, during that time, okay, we are in these lives today. We are in these bodies today, man. Those are the progenitors of our, you know, father and great grandfather in these times that we're in now. You know, a lot of those children, man. You know, especially if Yahushua prayed for those children. You see, because Yahushua said what? He said, I pray not for the world. You see, Yahushua prayed for
them that thou hast given me.
Yeah. Which, you know, starting with the elect, that's first priority, man.
I got something for you.
Come on, brother.
Hey, grabbing that, we're going to be getting the same account, but from another angle in Luke 18 and 15. And they brought unto him also infants, that he would touch them. But when his disciples saw it, they rebuked him. But Yahushua called them unto him and said, suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not. For of such is the kingdom of Yahweh. Verily I say unto you, Whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of Yahweh as a little child shall in no wise enter therein. All right, taking it back to one of the original points that the brother was making. A child is very impressionable. Anything you put in front of a child, they will absorb and live the rest of their life in, which is why Esau Edom goes so hard in brainwashing us at an early age. All right, so the way that a little child soaks up this truth like a sponge is the way that we ought to do in all of our endeavors. You got to embrace all of the elder apostle Tahar always says it, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures. There can't be no part of it that you're ashamed of to the point to where you won't profess it.
Right.
Because then the Lord won't profess you in that hour.
Right. And that's in the scriptures as well, man. You know, so that's what it comes down to, the scriptures, man. What does the Bible say?
Yeah,
what I mean?
What the Bible say.
Yeah.
Not what your heart says, not what your there was this podcast, it was a clip from Andrew Tate. He said my duty does not revolve around my feelings. He said my duty to God and my duty to my bloodline is what it is, regardless of how I feel.
Yep.
And that's the same mentality we gotta have.
Yep. And that's a legacy mindset that's biblical and principles that come from the Bible, come from our forefathers anyway. You know, and so that was pretty much the point. You know what I mean, when it comes to having the mindset and the innocency of a child coming into the truth, having your mind open to these concepts that the world will teach you to not listen to turn away from. The world doesn't want you to listen to what the scriptures say, okay? Because when you really deep dive into it, it's talking about what the Lord wants, okay? And the Lord doesn't want this place to continue. So, do you have any closing points on the other precepts?
Just real quick, 1 Peter, I'll take this one. 1 Peter 5 and 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time.
You see?
All right.
Yeah, man. Everybody want to grow up so dang gonna fast, man.
Yeah.
Have some patience. You know, when you were a child, you was like, man, I wish I was an adult, man. Yeah. You know, I want to stay out. I want to stay up late.
Then you found out.
Yeah. I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep at 8 o'clock. I wish I was an adult. And then your parents, they will always say, well, damn, don't think you want to grow up too quick. Because guess what? When you're an adult, then you're responsible for yourself. You're responsible to going to work. You're responsible for, taking care of yourself, paying bills. So, no, man, enjoy being a child in this truth, okay? Being a babe in this truth, okay? For individuals that, came into the truth, post Donald Trump,
Post 07.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Post 90s.
Yeah. But spiritually speaking, a child is, like you said, bro, 12 years or younger. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? So that's the mindset that we should all have. And of course, our apostles and our elders, they are actually spiritually mature men. You see that? So they have the experience to be able to guide us in the right way through their experience. So that's pretty much the point, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. With that, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.